Nico Harrison cannot let this happen. This upcoming season will be a contract year for several key Mavericks players that are looking to play into a bigger contract extension going forward. Players like PJ Washington as well as Daniel Gafford. And across the NBA, we're seeing a resurgence of the big man, teams needing not just a stretch big, but a more traditional big man to help them in the playoffs. And if we look at the New York Knicks and the Denver Nuggets, who have a very good big man rotation, that fact holds true. And it holds true for the Dallas Mavericks as well. Our big man rotation is the best that it's ever been in recent memory. We have Anthony Davis, who's going to play the power forward, but obviously can slide to the 5. We have Daniel Gafford, who has been amazing for us ever since we got him. We have Derrick Lively, who had an amazing rookie year, and although his sophomore year was filled with injuries, he is looking to have a bounce back year in his third year. We also have Kai Jones, who isn't on a contract, but we could easily sign him back. And we have Dwight Powell, who's the break glass in case of emergency big man. But there are a lot of teams that are lacking what we have that are going to be looking to pry these players away from us and try to give them more money than what we can afford. And one of those teams could be the Los Angeles Lakers, who we all saw lose in the first round of the playoffs due to the fact that they had no big man. So in this video, we're going to take a look at all the reports surrounding Daniel Gafford. What is he looking for in his contract extension? Is there a real chance of us losing him? And what does this mean for the Mavericks moving forward? But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we start with today's video, we're currently sitting at 20,374 subscribers. And as always, it may be the off season, but it's not my off season. Still bringing you guys content on a regular basis. So if you don't want to miss out on a single thing that we do, make sure you subscribe. But like I said, a lot of teams are lacking in big men that the Dallas Mavericks, for the once in a very long time, were in surplus of. Some people would even argue that we could probably trade one of them away and we'll be totally fine. I've seen a lot of trades all on the internet, on Reddit, Twitter. People are talking about how we need a point guard, but we have a lot of bigs. We could easily trade one of our bigs for a decent point guard until Kyrie Irving comes back. But you don't want to trade away a key player for just someone to be a rental. If you do trade PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Lively, any of our key big men for another guard, they should be someone that can still play alongside Kyrie Irving. It isn't just there to hold his spot until he gets back. But like I said, a lot of teams are going to be looking to fill this need, and one team that is always adamant, the fact that they can just go out and get anybody, is the Los Angeles Lakers. And if we take a look at our own Lakers Digest channel, they've been dropping video after video like Giannis, even one about Gafford, even about Jalen Green. They truly believe that they can go out and get any player. The Lakers organization, as well as the fan base, is just very delusional. But there is a report that came out earlier today saying that Derrick Lively is a year away from getting an extension. Daniel Gafford is entering the final year of his contract. Gafford reasonably and rightly wants to get starting center money. You can't have AD on a max, Lively on a big contract, and pay Gafford starting center money. And that was Tim McMahon on the Mavericks big man trio situation heading to this offseason. And so we finally find out what it is that Daniel Gafford wants as far as extension, and that is starting center money. And what does that look like? Daniel Gafford is currently on, or about to be, on the last year of a 3-year, $40 million contract. Daniel Gafford is a great player. He's been amazing for us. One of the league's best lob threats when we had Luka. Still a good lob threat, but also one of the league's best rim protectors and very efficient scoring at the rim. And although he's an undersized big, he's not 7 feet tall. At only 6'10", he's able to hang down low with the best bigs out there. And the situation that the Mavericks currently have is that we can't necessarily trust Derrick Lively to be our full-time starting center. Last season, they kind of shared the duties. Gafford started the season as the starting center, and then we switched to Lively. Then Lively got hurt. We went back to Gafford. Gafford was amazing for us. And this upcoming season, it's still unsure, or it's still unclear on who will be our starting center. If it is Gafford, and it will be going forward, then yeah, he wants starting center money. But if he doesn't get starting center money, is he okay with just being a backup big? Will he try to get more money elsewhere? There's a lot of questions around Daniel Gafford and the way this last season went. I know a lot of people believe that no one wants to resign with the Mavericks. No one wants to stay here. If we want to keep Gafford, you're probably going to have to overpay him just due to the fact that he may not want to be here. And I understand all that thinking. But if we take a look right here, if we take a look at how well Daniel Gafford has been, the best defensive field goal percentage in the paint for the 2024-2025 NBA regular season, right there at number 3 is Daniel Gafford, 47.4%, not too far off from Jared Jackson Jr., who is at a 46.8%. amazing rim defense, but on top of the defense, there's also the offense. The best effective field goal percentage on post-ups in the 2024-2025 NBA regular season, minimum 30 total post-up possessions. You have Daniel Gafford at number 2, 63.9%, right above Jakob Poeltl at 62.5%, right above Nikola Vucevic, Jonas Valanciunas, Zach Edey, all the other big men in the league. Daniel Gafford isn't the best big man out there. He's probably the best backup big in the entire NBA. Arguably, you could probably say Naz Reid is better, but I'd argue that Daniel Gafford is an amazing backup big, and even as your starting center, you can still see a lot of success. We saw that in the playoffs last year. Daniel Gafford was holding it down. In some cases, he was struggling, but overall, he's been amazing for us. But are we ready to pay him what he wants? Starting center money, that is unclear as what that really means. Like I said, Daniel Gafford, 3 years, $40 million, what he's currently on. Do we give him 4 years, $100 mil, 4 years, $80 mil? Do we go 4 years over 100? It's unclear what that final number is going to look like, but the Dallas Mavericks have to make sure that they can retain Daniel Gafford. I understand that we have a surplus of bigs right now. Maybe you move Dwight Powell. Maybe you don't bring back Kai Jones and you just stick to AD, Lively, and Gafford as your 3 big man rotation. Obviously, AD plays the 4, sometimes the 5. I understand that. PJ 2 floats around 3-4, very rarely the 5. But if that's the case, if you feel like you have too many, Daniel Gafford is someone that you'd much rather keep. I understand that Lively will have to grow. He'll have to get better. He'll need those opportunities at the starting position. But with his health in question over the last several years so far in his career, really, it's unsure of how long he can actually play a full season without getting hurt. If we trade away Daniel Gafford and Lively gets hurt, are we going to put AD at the 5 and put PJ at the 4? How long will that be until AD gets hurt? Or if AD's uncomfortable with it, we start losing games because of it. A lot of unknowns surrounding the fact that Gafford could be gone if he doesn't want to stay in Dallas, if he doesn't get offered the money. We saw just this past season that Nico Harrison traded away Quentin Grimes, and it was because of money. There's a lot of things swirling around Quentin Grimes on why he was let go, but it was because of money. We offered him a contract extension at the start of the season. He said no because he wanted to play for a bigger contract. By the trade deadline, he was gone. Obviously, they didn't want to pay him. We're trying to stay below these aprons. But if we're going to be honest with ourselves, if we want to compete, if we want to utilize this window, we may have to not overpay, but we're going to have to spend some money. We're going to have to spend money to retain these players. It would be very nice to keep some of these players long term and not just borrow them for a year or two and then get rid of them when they're too expensive. Sometimes you got to pay for a decent product, and what the Dallas Mavericks have on paper is a very good product, but that's only good if we keep them together. But a few other things that we're going to take a look at right here. Daniel Gafford's averaging 12.3 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 1.4 assists for the 2024-2025 season, and that is something that you want to keep in mind. And yeah, he only played 57 games. He had injuries. The whole team was injured and sick. Can't really hold that against him since we just fired the guy that was partly responsible for all these injuries. But for someone averaging 12, 6, and 1.4 assists, shooting 70% from the floor, 68% on his free throws, do you give him $100 million? Do you give him $80 million? That number is going to be interesting to see what the final number comes out to be, what the final details of his contract, if it's 3 years and 4 total, flat, whatever it does end up being, should be something that is fair to Daniel Gafford and paying him what he's owed and what he deserves, but also gives the team a little bit of breathing room in case we have to make more moves. But it's not Daniel Gafford's job to monitor the money of the organization and who else gets paid. Daniel Gafford, he's a family man. He's got a wife and kids. He's got a family. He's got to take care of his own situation first. And it's up to Nico Harrison to make sure everybody else is taken care of. Like I said, if we got to cut Dwight Powell or trade him away and we got to just not bring back Kai Jones, so be it. Keeping Daniel Gafford is essential for this Dallas Mavericks team. We saw this past season the moment Lively was out. Gafford was one of the best centers in the NBA for that short stretch of time. We were playing him heavy minutes, and he was just a dominant force. We were winning games, partly because of him. And if we want to make sure that if that same situation happens, Lively gets hurt, who's our backup? Dwight Powell? You want to put AD there? Cool, you can, but how long is it till he's uncomfortable playing the 5 because he so desperately wants to play the 4? A lot of variables, a lot of questions, and it's a little bit concerning because we all know that the Lakers and other teams are going to be looking at these players like Daniel Gafford on who they want to go after. They may have more money that they can offer Daniel Gafford than the Mavericks want to offer. And if we want to, again, utilize this window to be competitive and try to win a chip, you may want to keep the team as close together as possible. That main core that we have is very, very crucial. And the last thing I'm going to show you guys, this right here. Oh, I'm all over the place. The last thing I'm showing you about this right here is the breakdown of Daniel Gafford's salary. He's currently about to enter the third year of his 3-year, $40 million contract where he will be owed $14.3 million. So yes, do we go into another 3 years, 80 mil, maybe 4 years, 80? Again, the numbers is something that they're going to have to come down to and break it down. But going forward, we got to keep everybody together. Pay them what they're owed. Pay them what they deserve to be paid. And even if you have to pay a little bit, I think it's worth keeping Daniel Gafford. I never did think that he'd be a super expensive player. He is a great player, a very good player. But I never thought that Daniel Gafford would become too expensive to the point where we can't keep him. So let's not act like we can't keep him. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think that we should trade Gafford since he wants starting center money and we can't afford it? Or do you think that we should pay him what he deserves and what he is owed and keep this team together? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We'll have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for being part of the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing a giveaway every single month on the channel. Only way to enter our giveaways is to become a channel member of any tier. But till next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.